Hello everybody, it is Tacky Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. I've got a few topics I want to talk about today. And the first one is, as you see in the title, exercise. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Let me show you a quick little video here. I think you're gonna enjoy this. Lots of people out there, they like to dance. It's good for you, right? Because it gets you moving. What do I notice about this particular video? Tempo, moving the arms, moving the feet. What is it similar to? It's very similar to this. Tempo, beat, and activating the lymphatic system. Very good for you. But most of us, when we were younger, when I say younger, I'm saying I think Generation X, born in the 70s. What did we do when we were younger? We played outside. We did everything outside. We didn't have all these devices to distract us as kids do today. I didn't have Nintendo. Atari was just kind of coming out. Didn't have it. And because of that, you get demotivated to be active. And some of us, when we were younger, we didn't like to run outside or ride the bicycle because it kind of hurt the next day. Or later that day, especially if you fell off your bike, like I did. I was pretty adventurous when I was a kid. I even have scars to show for it, and which leads me to think about the accident I had when I was 12 or 13 years old, going off a dirt ramp with my BMX bike, and I didn't land very well, and I hurt my knee on the pedal. The pedals back in those days, they were metal. And they had the jagged teeth on it. And I got a very good scar right here. And I fractured the kneecap on that pedal. That's how hard I hit the ground. And then last year, being me, doing my exercise, I was doing decline bench press or decline push-up. So meaning I was putting my toes onto the step up there and then ground my hands on the ground. But that particular time I was doing I was using the vibration plate, so putting my palms on the vibration plate and doing the decline push-up. And I got fatigued and I kneeled down, and the power cord from the vibration plate was underneath my torso, and I kneeled onto that cord, and it reopened that fracture from when I was 12 years old. That hurt for a long time. Up until April this year, more or less. Now it's starting to, the pain that I experienced last summer was pretty strong. I couldn't kneel down, even let's say to clean the toilet. The pain would just shoot, right? And this year I can honestly say I can now kneel down to clean the toilet. I know my other half likes that. I've got no excuse. But in order to do Nordic squats, that's kind of like where you have your feet anchored on something and then you lower your torso down like this. Um, and the anchor, this, let's say this part here is my knee on the ground. So laying down onto my stomach, it's still I can't tolerate that amount of pressure on the knee, especially on the right knee, because it hurts too much. So the basis of the topic today is to talk about why it hurts and why exercise hurts for a lot of people. And I'm saying this because yesterday I did back and biceps, and I wake up this morning, and I don't have the fatigue and the muscle soreness because my body has recovered from it. I did lift fairly heavy, enough where I could feel the tension, and I'm fatiguing. So especially on the lats I feel more today than the biceps, and I think largely because I put more weight on the bands, so there was more resistance, and which is good. You kind of want to for next week. I know that I'll have to gauge a little differently to make sure that I'm getting that fatigue and then creating the hypertrophy. But I also wanted to kind of get you to think about why you're hurting, especially if it was at a young age and now later in life. And part of that could be because of mitochondrial strength in your body at a cellular level. Because a lot of us, we didn't know about toxins back in those days, and the things that were being done to people, different stuff. There's like you can think about DEET, for example. It was very toxic. It was being used in the 70s, and it was used in sprays as well, like a bug spray. That stuff is very toxic for you. It's not good, and that's why it was banned. In I think it was in Europe where it was banned. But still available here in North America for various different reasons. But could something like that been a contributor to reducing the mitochondria strength inside your body as a disruptor? And I probably think it's safe to assume that there could be some connection. Maybe somebody has done some research on that and has discovered that there is a connection. But also too, let's say because of genetics, we know that there's strong genetics and weaker genetics, and people out there sometimes have an advantage right off the bat, and I think a lot of that may attribute to the mitochondria. And for those out there that are struggling with pain with exercise, I'm just throwing it out there again because I think it's important for us to use whatever tool is available to us. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times people will tend to spoil themselves with things that maybe are trivial or are to grab attention. One of those things could be tattoos. People will spend lots of money on a tattoo, but they won't spend money on something that is not going to benefit them long term. And that kind of it rubs me the wrong way a little bit, because I'm, for one, I'm a frugal person. I know I shouldn't. It's one of the characteristics I carry. Largely because I don't like to waste money on different things, but for things that I know are going to be beneficial for me, let's say from a spoiling standpoint, I'll spend the money. I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to sacrifice for that, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm in the shape that I am today, because I did take care of my body over the last 15 years. I tried to make good choices. Have I made some good choices? I believe I have. Have I made some not so good choices? Yeah, I would think so, because we kind of all have to go through this learning stages, if you want to call it, because this is school. We never stop learning here while we're here. So, have I learned what's kind of good for me? Yes, I have. One of those things is salt. So you can probably see here, it says dash. Right? Dash. Before I came down to my basement, I took a dash of salt and I put it under my tongue, and I wait to see how long my saliva will take to generate and start breaking down that salt. For me, it happens very fast. Very fast. Saliva glands for me are very, very strong. And since I started drinking the 114 degree bond bottle water, that has even strengthened. So does that carry forward with regards to other functions in the body? I'd say yes. And does that include mitochondria? Mm-hmm. Does. All right. Add the patch, the X39. And you are reaping the benefits. So outside today, I can see the light. You can probably see it in there. It's kind of bright, but in order to demonstrate to you, it's kind of hard to do everything that I got here outside. You know, take out the equipment and blah blah blah, microphone and all that stuff. It's quite the setup. Maybe I'll do it once, so I can see outside. Hear the wind and the birds chirping. Maybe they'll come by and maybe a blue jay will land on my shoulder or something. Who knows? Like, could be something silly like that. But what I wanted to say is that it's important to be consistent with whatever you do. With whatever you do. Whether it's dancing like you see on the screen, you know, it's active. There's music that's playing in the background of that audio, but obviously I'm not going to play it because it's not necessary. But do something. Whether it's following me to challenge yourself, go outside, ride your bike, get the light as much as you can right now, because especially in the northern hemisphere, these days are going to start getting shorter, and it begins the first day of fall, which is the I can't remember which equinox it is now. And when that happens, those days, everything starts turning brown here, where I live, and where Raven lives. We know it changes. Sometimes we can get what they call Indian summer, where we'll get nice 20, 24 degrees Celsius on a nice kind of fall day. Doesn't happen too often, but it has happened. But then the days quickly start shortening, and we start to lose the opportunity to absorb that light, that trigger. So if you are in the northern hemisphere, start thinking about this, because this is The light is the trigger of activating the mitochondria in the body. And can it help with your recovery? It does. I still continue to eat only one meal a day. And yet I'm still keeping my muscle. So I'm doing this as an experiment for myself, just to kind of gauge how my body is responding. Is it getting younger? Because when we were younger, some of us, we were pretty strong kids. We could climb on the monkey bars and do all kinds of things. And even if it was gymnastics, were we eating 3 times, 6 times a day? No. I sure didn't. But did we maintain adequate muscle mass? Yeah. Why? Is it because of mitochondria? Strength? Just saying. Is there a connection? And as adults, we don't practice the same habits as we did as kids, because we didn't have this freedom to do it. What kind of freedom you have as an adult? Your freedom is you have to pay for all these little things, right? Should it be that way? Sure, we have to work. If we all grew our own food, what would that look like? Would it be different? Or if we had a replicator? That'd be fantastic. Push a couple buttons. Boop, boop, boop. Get your nice toxin-free hamburger or whatever your choice of food is. Pizza. Comfort food. I don't know. It's exciting times to be alive right now. And if you like exciting, as I do, good. Oh yeah, before I forget, to demonstrate why I'm frugal, got these shoes. These are the ones I wear. If you have watched any of the previous streams, you would notice that here, you see, the tongue from the shoe is kind of broken. The only thing is holding it is a I guess there's on the tongue there's like a little loop that you can feed the shoestring through, and that's kind of holding it in place so it doesn't kind of fall out. And so this shoe is now pretty old. And then on the left, I've got, I don't know if it shows, you can see the white mark there. So basically the shoe is broken, and I can almost, there's one layer of material in there that's still holding it together, but soon enough it's gonna tear, and then you'll see my socks on the left. But I'm the kind, the treads on the shoe are still holding. So these ones I've had for many years, but I like the shoes particularly because there's an arch in here. And the reason being is that when I'm using the bands, especially with leg day, I've got a squat bar that I attach the bands to and I do squats with. And in the future, I'm going to show you how I use these old shoes with the bands and a vibration plate. Because the rewards that you can get from vibration plate training are, in my opinion, very good if you know how to apply the theory in which I will talk about. Okay, and so to show you too, in my sock, can see it. You see the patch? Got on my foot. So yesterday I talked about acupuncture points on the foot. You can put the patch on your foot. So, and help to stimulate the other parts of the body, because our feet have the largest pores, right? So you can add a patch there. In addition, see I'm wearing there. So the one on my foot, I've just got some Ziploc sandwich bag on the sticky part, and then that way I can kind of reuse it. So I can still feel its sensation that it gives me. So if for those who think, oh, that those patches are expensive, well, yeah, because it's good technology. There's solid research that went into making it, and you can reuse them, which I am doing as much as I can. But I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get some more. I'm pretty frugal, so as you can see, my shoes. But help me, help you is my only request. Take a serious look at the patches, please, and think about what I'm sharing on the day-to-day basis and showing you. And if you like how I'm demonstrating the power of not only the water, but this technology, show your support. That's all I ask. Not much to ask for. So, with that, today's exercise are going to be chest and triceps. So I'll do a little demonstration. So that's the website again. So if you go to unlockyourBioenergy.GoDaddySites.com, and under the links to where to purchase the bioenergy products, I call it bioenergy. Some call it patches. Some call it technology. All one and the same. But the end product that comes from LifeWave is top notch. It's good stuff. It's very good stuff. And when you see this website, then you know you're ordering under my name. And if you decide to subscribe, even better. You don't have to. If you subscribe, then there's a discount that is provided to you, and that's an annual fee of $25 if you choose to continue subscribing. And the reason being is because you can make a little bit of commissions, and those commissions, they can add up. There are people that are making a living being a LifeWave distributor. Why is that? Well, it has everything to do with sales. Company has reported 550 million in annual sales. So, does that mean there's belief in the product worldwide? There is. People are experiencing changes or improvements because of the improvements of the mitochondria inside the body. That is the key. That is the king of all kings when it comes to healing the body. Fuel it with the right choices and begin to reap the benefits from them. Because your battery is discharging every single day. Your battery is your longevity. Try to maximize that longevity with choices in the right way. Scan the QR code, making it easy for you. So if you see it on your big flat screen TV, take your Take your mobile device or your iPad, turn your camera on, and it'll take you to the website. All right. Let's begin the workout today. Today will be, as I described earlier, chest and triceps. I've got the cards. They're shuffled already. That box there is a new pair of shoes. I haven't got them at Costco, so they're, relatively inexpensive. I don't know how long ago now, and I just haven't opened them yet. I haven't even worn them yet because I'm too frugal, but also because I like these shoes that are here, and in which you'll see why in future episodes. But so to describe today's exercises, I'm going to do on the floor bench press. I find just being on the floor is just faster to switch. So I've got 40-pound dumbbells, which I will use for the chest press. So I'm upping the ante this week. And when you're on the floor, then you're not actually putting too much stress on the tendon that connects the chest fiber to the shoulder, or to the bone here. There's a tendon in there. So Arnold Schwarzenegger tore it twice, and largely because of doing chest flies, too much weight. He said, "Oh, you want the stretch? You want the stretch?" Well, there's a risk and / reward when you do that. So that's why I'm gonna do the bench press, and then I will do a sunrise I'm gonna do what's called a sunrise sunset. So I've got a green band here on a post, okay, and another green band here. So what I will do is like this, that's a sunrise sunset. So my elbows don't go past my torso like this. They stay more forward when I'm doing that. So I'm in this position, although you can't see it, it's on an angle. So that's kind of with the band. So the band is going to go straight. Don't put it behind. That way you want to just activate the fibers on the center of the chest. So, and I will switch between the two. I'll let if it's a black face card, then it'll be on the floor. If it's a red face card, then it'll be standing up. So that's why you'll see the difference. And then for the tricep extension, I've got two bands connected. One is on the top here. One is connected here in the center. And then I will kneel down, right? And then extend up like this. I like to do the full extension. That way you're getting the tricep. And then with the band from the higher anchor point, you're still going to be pulling down and pushing, and it's putting tension on the triceps. So that's kind of why I like that. It's more of a complete range of motion, and maximizing the time that you're doing that exercise. So when I pull a black face card, there will be palms forward. So palms will be forward like this when I'm under a black face card, and then when it's red, it'll be more like a hammer. So I'm going to be hammering down. Bang. Okay? And again, when you're kneeling. So those are the 4 exercises. The jack will be the jump rope, so that way it's going to pull the blood away from kind of away from the chest and the triceps, although there's going to be the hands are involved with the jump rope because of the blood circulation has got to go to the hand in order to do the movement. So it's going to just essentially, because when you flex the muscle, you're squeezing the blood out, and then the blood gets returned back after it circulates, right? So I'm using those kind of techniques just to help circulate the blood with the jump rope, and that way it also maintains a higher heart rate overall. Well, look at my heart rate's up and I'm not even exercising because I'm talking too much. It'll probably drop right down as soon as I start breathing and stop talking. Okay. With that, let's begin. Today's Tacky Tuesday. Face cards are shuffled. First one is going to be Queen, 10. So Queen is hammer. Or the Queen, yeah, the red Queen. It's a red Queen. You're going to do hammer. So down on a knee like this, and there's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Next card. Red King, 5. Sunrise Sunsets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Feels good. Next, Black Ace, 9. So, on the floor push-ups. So we're going to take 40 weight, 40 pounds. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's quite a bit. All right, kneeling, palm forward, tricep extensions. 9 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now 90 skips. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 8, 9, 90. All right. Next up, Black Ace, 10. All right. 10 reps of on the floor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The one thing I like, I can rest with the elbows. It helps get through it. Kneeling, palm forward. Okay. Oh, I could feel that weight. Wow. Whew. Palm forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 100 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 900. All right, next up, red ace 4. Sunrise, sunsets. One, 2, 3, 4. Hammer tricep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 40 skips. There we go. 10, 20, 30, 40. All right. Next card, Queen 4. So, kneeling, palm forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, red ace 9. Sunrise, sunsets. Just 1, 2, 3, 4,